Nada, nada, sound, metaphysically the first movement of Siva Sakti toward manifestation. In yoga, the unstruck sound experienced in meditation, divine music or sound which is heard in high states of meditation. According to Sakta philosophy, the first movement of sound, sabda, is called nada tattva. Along with the bindu, they are the complements of the ultimate potency of creation. From these arise the tri-bindu or kamakala, which is the root of all mantras. Another interpretation of this standpoint is that it relates to the purpose of a given action or actions. Thus, one says, I am cooking, instead of saying, I am cutting the vegetables, heating the water, etc. All the individual acts are controlled by a single purpose. Example given, an example, cooking food. Nyamatika. That was nada. Nyamatika. Occasional. Naimatika karma. Occasional duties to be performed on special occasions like the full moon, new moon days, etc. See karma. Nairatmya. Non-soul, no substance in anything. Nairatmyavada. The doctrine of no self, according to Buddhism, the term nirgranthas is negative and tells what an object is not. Thus, there is no self-sustaining substance apart from the attributes or sense data of any object, conscious or non-conscious. Naiskarmya, freedom from action, karma, and its influence. According to Advaita Vedanta, disinterested and dedicated action, selfless service, which serves to purify the mind and thus serve as an auxiliary to liberation. Naistika brahmacharin, one vow to celibacy eternally, established an absolute Brahman. This is N, those two lines going up, that's I, AI. That's an AI right there. Nai, that's an S, connect to a T, and that's an I right there. Naisti, okay, Naisti. A lot of times they put these letters together, okay. They just put the letters on top of the letters, right? Naisti, that's a K. That's a B, and if you look closely at it, that little thing, that little line coming out, that signifies that's a B and an R, okay? Bra. Okay, that's an M. Brahma, I don't recognize this, okay? But Brahma, and that line right there signifies that it does end in an A. Okay, any word in Sanskrit is going to end in A. That except for, you know, when it has that line there. Okay, Nirgranthas, right? Nirgranthas ends in A, even though you don't see any A letter, right? Which would kind of be like that line right there. That'd be a A. Sometimes they put it in there, but a lot of times there's A's in between a lot of these. Like even Nirgranthas, that's a A. Then there's Va, that's a A right there, that line. Da. So that's a Naistika brahmacharin. There's one vow to celibacy. So, you know, sexuality can be lesser vibratory, right? It could be the lowest chakra that we have. It could be impure, right? Lost desire, right? And suffering, right? Whatever, the whole thing. So can be impurity, right? Naivedya, there's nothing wrong with sexuality, but that's a whole nother story. That it can be vampiristic, it could be even satanic sometimes. You know, there's obviously, you know, that's obviously an addiction. That's obviously one of the lust, right? Deadly sins, right? The whole thing. I'm not saying in a religious context, right? I'm just saying that can be lesser vibratory. It could bring your vibration down, okay? If If you're wasting all the energy through your chakras, the lower chakras, you're not working with the higher energy of your higher chakras, right? So a person that's celibacy, right? We got the retention of Jing. That's from the East, right? Naivedya, food offering to an image of God. Naksatra, star, heavenly body, asterism, or constellation. Then there's like magic to it, right? Then there's fucking like tantra, right? That's a whole school, right? From the East, right? Utilizing that sexual energy, transforming it many times to creative energy, right? Naivedya, food offered to an image of God. Naksatra. So that's an N, that's a K and an S, and that's a T and an R, and then it ends in A. Naksatra, star, heavenly body, asterism, or constellation. According to Hindu astrology, Jyotisha, right, there are 27 asterisms. Asvini, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, Brahmi, Mrgasiras, Angrahayani, Tiruvadirai, Punar Pusam, Ayilyam, Maga, Param, Uttaras, Hasta, Chitra, Svati, Visaka, Radha, Anusam, Ketai, Mula, Paradam, Uttradam, Teruvanam, Avitam, Sadayam, Purutadi, Uttratadi, Revati. A Naksatra is a star, a heavenly body, a asterism or constellation. Asterism. Okay. Naksatra is a star or a heavenly body or asterism or constellation. Naksatra. Nama, name from the verb nam, to honor. According to Jainism, it is one of the 8 main types of action, karma. In itself, it is of 103 types. They all have to do with personality making. They are subdivided into 4 groups, collective types. Pinda Prakriti, individual types. Pratyaya Prakriti, self-movable body. Trasadasaka, and immovable body. Stavara Dasaka. According to Buddhism, one of the names for the 4 elements, because they are objects of name, according to Advaita Vedanta, every appearance consists of name and form, nama and rupa. The name is a referent to the divine. God's various names are employed in chanting sacred hymns. Note the Rig Veda hymn, the one being the wise, call by many names, Ekam Sad Vipra Bahuda Vadanti, Namadaya, Nmdeya, Namadaya, a portion of the Veda whose words have the appearance of a name of an action and yet are capable of another interpretation. Namarupa, that's R and U combined. NM, Namarupa, name and form. According to Buddhism, one line of the causal chain of dependent origination. It provides the support for the 6 fields of contact, ayatana, and in turn is dependent itself on consciousness, vijnana. Name is said to be 3 groups: sensation, perception, and predisposition. And form is the 4 elements, and forms derived from the 4 elements in the Upanishads. The term is used in the sense of determinate forms and names as it distinguished from the indeterminate, indefinable reality. Advaita Vedanta uses the term to indicate the phenomenally existent vyavahārika universe. The phenomenally existent universe, the physical universe full of phenomena, is the vyavahārika universe. You got the Ekavya Vaharika sect over here, right? Google that, you'll learn about it. The Ekavya Vaharika sect, right? This is a, and then the phenomenally existing universe is Vyavaharika. Dvaita Vedanta uses the term to indicate the phenomenally existent Vyavaharika universe. Si pratitya samutpada namaskara. Namas S and a K combined. Hara and Zara. Namaskara. Greeting in a spirit of worship, I bow to you, the active invoking not me, but thou. Salutation, obeisance. From na equals not, plus ma equals mine, plus kara equals to do. Namajivavada. Namajivavada. Got a nana, N and an N and a J connected to J connected to E, nana jiva, so that's soul, right? Jiva is a soul. Nana jiva, then that's a vada. The theory of the plurality of selves, multiple different versions of ourselves, right? All across the multiverse. Heard me say that, right? The theory of the plurality of selves, all these different versions of ourselves. All these, because we're avatars, we got oversouls, right? We got versions of ourselves in other timelines. Okay, we got angelic versions of ourselves that are not even physical. You understand? In the etheric locus of the multiverse, right? We got angelic versions of ourselves. The theory of the plurality of selves. Nana Jiva Vada. Nana Jiva Vada. That's a good one. Nandi, the joyful bull, Siva's vehicle. Lord Shiva's vehicle, Vahana, a white bull with a black tail, he symbolized the ideal devotee, and is said to be in constant communion with Lord Shiva. Nara, man, human incarnation of Vishnu, from Nara equals man, humanity. Nara, Nara. Nara. Narada, a famous son of Brahma and sage in the Puranas, a divine rishi. So they put RSI there, right? But they're really trying to say rishi, kind of like a rishi mushroom, right? I mean, mushrooms are always sacred, right? But what they're really saying when you see that RSI, it says rishi. They're really saying these rishis. The rishis. Rishi is a Vedic term for an accomplished and enlightened person. Rishis have composed hymns of the Shrutis and Smritis Upanishads, Ramayana and Mahabharata. Rishi is a Vedic term. Rishis, and then they fucking same understanding as Rishi mushroom, right? That's an important mushroom to know about in the alternative medicinal world. Are we going? Where were we? Narada, a divine rishi. Narada is a divine rishi, son of Brahma, and a sage in the Puranas, a divine rishi or seer. Okay, rishi is also a seer or a great devotee and servant of Vishnu. He is represented as a messenger between God and human beings. He is thought to be the inventor of the lute, Vina. He appears in many of the Puranas and is author of the Narada Bhakti Sutras, the authoritative text on Bhakti Yoga. Yes, these are all the systems. Notice how they're not persons, right? They're systems, they're sects, they're traditions, they're schools, right? You can also put branches there. Branches, because then a lot of those schools, right, have branches. Some more orthodox than others, some more unorthodox than others. But then there's another one that we might add to this that didn't originate from the East. But I would definitely add, because this is all Eastern, right? And then it's even getting into Buddhism. Hinduism and Buddhism, are obviously, from kind of the same area of the world, right? A little bit, right? But that's getting into more Asian. right, as opposed to Indian, right? But I would definitely add this to the whole system, theosophy, because the theosophists encompass all these spiritual systems, right? Which has a lot to do with a lot of the systems from the East. So, obviously the founder, you read her books, you'll glean a lot of gleanments of Eastern gnosis. Okay, so this whole theosophy is a very important system. Okay, to know about, but I'll add that to the list. But obviously, these are all separate studies, right? Mahasamgikas, that could be an M actually. Mahasamgikas. You got all these different sects and traditions, and you see them, according to Jainism, right there, right? Jainism, right? That's how I find them all. For example, and it branches out to dozens and dozens of them, and it goes on. Especially when you go into ancient Asian, as opposed to South Asian. It goes into Tibetans as well, that are kind of more Asian as opposed to Indian, right? Naraka, where are we at right here? Did we just do this shit? Just did that. Thought to be inventor of the lute, Vina, he appears in many of the Puranas, the author of the Narada Bhakti Sutras, the authoritative text on Bhakti Yoga. Naraka, hell pertaining to the human. There are various hells: Put, the childless hell; Avici, hell for those awaiting reincarnation; Samhata, for the general evildoers; Tamistra, where the real gloom of hell begins; Virgisa, where torments attack; Kudmala, the worst hell for those who will be reincarnated; Talatala, the bottomless pit; Talatala, the eternal hell of indescribable tortures and pain for those who have no hope of reincarnation. Wow, so some of them can't even reincarnate, because reincarnation is a form of hell, being endlessly reincarnated, right? Never mind forced reincarnation, right? You never see it in the Eastern world that there's archons that hide behind the veils of appearance of the physical universe. Right, what were we calling it? The vyavacharika universe. Okay, the phenomenally existent physical universe, material universe, right? Yeah, well, behind that veil, that maya, that illusion, right? There's a whole multiverse out there, and then there's a programming of physical worlds, right? And the programming of souls, and that endless reincarnation, right? They just say, oh, they're just endlessly reincarnating. They don't say that, no, there's actually archonic deities that are programming that situation on purpose, right? Which is a whole other story. Because trying to stop reincarnating all by yourself is hard enough. Never mind that, there's a whole archontic system in this multiverse, right? So they're saying Naraka is hell pertaining to the human. So the hell for humans. Naraka, there are various hells. Put, the childless hell. Childless hell. Avici, hell for those awaiting reincarnation. So if people fucking are dying, then they're ending up in hellish dimensions. Because they're not ascending. They're not ascending. Okay, they're not dying in higher vibratory states. They're dying from a long life of stresses and negative alternative lifestyles that bring their vibratory energy down and put them under the whim of these types of entities. Those hellish dimensions are full of dark entities. You're doing things of the lower realms, the lower angelic kingdoms. So your vibration's lowering. So then you're open to the influence of those lesser vibratory fourth dimensional entities. Okay? So then you end up dead, then you end up awaiting reincarnation in Avici, hell for those awaiting reincarnation. So then you're going to be reincarnated again. But don't you think those fourth dimensional entities are doing that reincarnation, endlessly reincarnating human beings? into these timelines. And because when the Gnostic mind looks at a lot of this stuff from the East, and this sounds very familiar, but we know about what's actually really going on in those other dimensions, right? Hell for those awaiting reincarnation. So then you die, you're not ascending. You're not going through what we call those stargates. You're not ascending. You're not becoming astrally independent, right? What we call astral independence. And then you die, you cease endless reincarnation, and you can even become a bodhisattva and guide souls, right? Become an angelic guide or whatever. But then you're independent on an etheric level as a spiritual being that's multidimensional, that's not being endlessly reincarnated, right? So there's a system that is reincarnating the souls of humanity, right? Hell for those awaiting reincarnation. Samhata for general evildoers. That's a whole nother thing. But this is kind of orthodox, in a way, compared to how when I develop systems and explain this stuff. For general evildoers, when I develop my own cosmogonical system, the Watch It Forums is going to develop its own cosmogonical system. I'm going to put it in many different languages and develop the system. Tamishra, where the real gloom of hell begins. Rijsa, where torments attack. Kudmala, the worst hell for those who will be reincarnated. The worst hell for those who will be reincarnated. It's like there's a soul prison or something. But what types of deities are ruling that system? There's a hell, no? And then those souls stuck in those hellish dimensions. Kudmala or Vici. There's deities in those hellish dimensions that are reincarnating these souls. Okay? Tala, the bottomless pit, the eternal hell of indescribable tortures and pain for those who have no hope for reincarnation. Siloka and Tala. Naraki, hell being. Jangama, Naraki is a hellish being, hellish hell being. Narayana, God and humanity, incarnate divinity. From Nara, humanity, and Ayana, path or going. To go from the Nara, products of the self, the Ayana, abode, the abode of all beings. Or from Nara, water, Ayana, moving, he who lies upon or moves the ocean of consciousness. Name for Lord Vishnu, the Godhead in humanity, incarnate divinity, the sole refuge of all creatures, the universal abode, one who has had the causal waters his abode, one who is the abode of all human beings, one who has made the hearts of human beings his abode, one who is the final goal of everyone. A name for Vishnu, often depicted as reclining on the milky ocean with the serpent Sesha on his couch, the sole refuge of all creatures. Nasha, annihilation, destruction. Nasha, annihilation, destruction. Nasadaya, title of a very famous Rig Vedic hymn depicting the absolute as impersonal. It begins, at first there was neither being nor non-being, there was not air, not yet sky beyond. What was its wrapping? Where? In whose protection? Nastika, atheist, heretic, one who denies the Vedic authority, heterodox, those systems of Indian philosophy, Jainism, Buddhism, and carvaka, which neither regard the Vedas as infallible, nor try to establish their own system's validity on their authority. Sometimes it is said that there are 6 heterodox systems in contrast to the 6 orthodox systems. These 6 Nastika systems include the Carvaka, and Jainism and Buddhism is put into 4 main schools: Vaibhasika, Sautrantika, Yogacara, and Madhyamika. So then we individually research every single one of them, right? I think I have some of them here. Those, we have the Carvaka, Nastika, atheist, heretic, one who denies the Vedic authority, heterodox. Those systems of Indian philosophy, Jainism, Buddhism, and Carvaka. Do we have Carvaka in here? You have Jainism, Buddhism, then you have Carvaka, and then we individually study every single one of these, right? And define them each. I don't see Carvaka. Okay, that's in addition. which neither regard the Vedas as infallible nor try to establish their own systems of validity on their authority. Sometimes it's said these Nastika systems include the carvaka and Jainism and Buddhism is split into four main schools: vaibhasika, you got vaisesika. That sounds close. Okay, these are important to know. Vaibhasika, vaibhasika. Jainism, carvaka, and Buddhism split into four main schools: vaibhasika, Svara, Tathagata, Garba, Bahajuriya. See a vaibhasika? I thought I would have that. Sivadvaita, mimamsakas, kashmir, visistadvaita, vaisesika, vaibhasika, sautrantika, sautrantika. Do you see that? No. Sautrantika, sautrantika. I don't see that either. Then yogacara, then madhyamika. Nastikaya, non-extended real. Nastika almost sounds like a Gnostic, maybe. Gnostic, like an agnostic, which is an atheist, right? Gnostic. Nastikaya, non-extended real according to Jainism. Time is the only substance which has no body. Nataraja. So that's an N, that's a T, that's an R, that's a A, that's a J, that's a A. Nataraja. King of dance, lord of dance, name of Siva from Nata, dancer, and Raja, which means king. Nata is a dancer, Raja is a king. An epithet is Siva, referred to as the dancing Siva. The object of his dance is to free all souls from the fetters of illusion. The whole cosmic play, or Lila, is the dance of Siva. All movements within the cosmos are his dance. He sets into motion the creation of the world, and when the time comes, also destroys all names and forms through his dancing. Nata, Lord, ruler, protector, a lineage of yogis known for their extraordinary powers. Nata, Lord, Raja, king, Natha, Lord, ruler. Natya, dance, dramatic art. Navavida Bhakti, Navavida Bhakti, the nine forms of devotion. These are listening to God's glory, Sravana, sing God's praise, Kirtana, like Shabbat Kirtana, contemplating the Lord, Smarana, worshipping the Lord's feet, Pada Sevana. Okay, sometimes you're getting archonic influences, right? External authority programming, whether it's some fucking god in the clouds, or whether it's external guru, another man, right? You know, you'll get that Pada Sevana, which is whatever this Orthodox religions. A lot of it's Orthodox. Worshipping like I'm that Lord, right? I'm that God. You understand? Period. You understand? That's the unorthodox viewpoint, right? But a lot of those orthodox religions are putting humanity under the whim of these archonic etheric deities to begin with, right? Worshipping the Lord, so then they're going around targeting a lot of the sects that direct that power, direct the source of that power from within the human being, right? A lot of the Orthodox traditions are trying to go against that and constantly directing that source of our power and salvation in external gurus, gods, Christ figures, royals, etc. God kings, God in the clouds and his terrestrial ministers, right? You have you know the pagan systems, right? Then you have the Orthodox kind of systems, worshiping the Lord as an image, Archana, waiting on the Lord as a servant, Dasya, fellowship with the Lord, Shakya, and offering oneself totally to the Lord, Atma Nivedana, see Bhakti, Nyaya, standpoint, opinion. According to Jainism, a particular opinion or viewpoint is called Nyaya. Each standpoint is a partial truth about an entity. It is the knowledge of a thing in a particular context or relationship. It may be divided into two kinds, Artha Nyaya and Sabda Nyaya. Artha Nyaya is concerned with the meaning of objects. It's further subdivided into Nayagama, Sangraha, Vyavahara, and Ruju Sutra. Sabda Nyaya, concerned with the meaning of words, is further subdivided into Sabda, Samabi, Ruda, and Evam Bhuta. See each term listed separately. Nyaya has also been divided into two categories: Dravya Artha, which considers an object from the standpoint of substance, and Paryayartika Nyaya, which considers an object from the standpoint of its modifications and conditions. The former views of manifold qualities and characteristics of an object is unified, while, example given in book, while the latter views these aspects separately: paper, ink, binding, etc. Nyaya Basa, fallacy of viewpoint, false standpoint. According to Jainism, any one viewpoint which regards itself as absolutely true to the exclusion of all other viewpoints is fallacious. The Jainis regard any one viewpoint as one of the infinite number of ways to view a thing. Any one viewpoint is true in a limited sense and under limited conditions. This idea led to the Jaina doctrine of Sivadvaita. See Nyaya and Sivadvaita. Nyaya Basa. Got this Basa, Naya Basa, Abasa, vesting for the law. So where we get a Vesta, a vestin. Naya Basa, that's a very ancient term, Abasa. Once again, confusing B's and V's like with Greeks, right? Naya Basa, fallacy of viewpoint. Nyanmar, something like Myanmar, Nyanmar. Once again, it doesn't end in an ah like every other Sanskrit term, right? Because it has this line right here. See, it ends in an s, but it's nayabasa, right? It doesn't have that line there. Okay, every other term ends in ah, except for that's an I connected to that t, so it'll go t, right? But a lot of these terms end in ah. A is the most words in the Sanskrit dictionary. There's like almost 70, 80 pages of words with A, starting with A. Nayabasa, Nyanmar. 63 Saivite saints, or Nyanmars, also known as Adiyar. These saints lived and demonstrated the way of devotion to Siva. Foremost among them were Manikavathakar, Tirujnana Sambandar, Tirunavukarasar, and Sundaramurti Nayanar. Nyanmar, the 63 Saivite saints, or Nyanars, Saivite saints. Nyaya Nischaya, Nyaya Nischaya, perfect vision or knowledge of a thing in a particular context. According to Jainism, it is of two types: a Suddhi Nischaya, or the knowledge of an object minus its attributes, and Suddha Nischaya, or the knowledge of an object in its conditional stages. Nyayavada, the theory of relative pluralism in Jainism. See Nyaya and Nyaya Basa. Neti, not this, not such, from na equals not, it is thus, it is thus, it is thus. See this iti. Yajnavalkya said the self Atman is not this, Braj, bra, 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 braha, Brahadaranyaka Upanishad, Brahadaranyaka Upanishad 5.5.15. The ultimate reality cannot be described by any positive means, according to Advaita Vedanta, because conceptual thought is always limited to the finite. Thus, the most appropriate way to indicate it is to say, not this, Nibbanda, bandage, composition, binding, ritual handbook, compendium, from the root band to bind, and ni, which is down. A term used to indicate the ritual codification of a particular lineage or tradition that displays liturgy. Another name for this is padati. Nidana, cause of disease. From nida, to bind down. The method of the cause and effect relation. Nidarsana, exemplification, application. And connected I, nid, that's a D, that's a R, nidar, shishana, exemplification. One of the members of a five-member syllogism. Udacharana, nidarsana basa. This is abasa again. Very ancient term, abasa. Nidarsana basa, nididyasana. Nididhyasana, meditation, contemplation, profound and continuous meditation according to Advaita Vedanta removes the contrary wise tendencies of the mind. It is one of the principal aids to liberation. Simukya antaranga sadhana. It is a continuous unbroken stream of ideas of the same kind as those of absolute Brahman. Nididya sativya. Nididya okay. Nididya Sitavya. That should be meditated upon Brahman. Nidra, sleep, from the verb dra, to sleep. Dra, to sleep. Ni goes down, into. According to the yoga school, sleep is a modification of the mind chitta, which is a substratum of the knowledge of absence of anything due to a preponderance of inertia tamas and its fluctuation. Vritti, there is no modification of waking or dreaming. However, the state is still a modification, for upon waking one has the consciousness that one has slept well. Nigama, Veda, authoritative scripture. Nigamana, conclusion. Nigamana, conclusion. The last member of a five-membered syllogism, it states the original thesis as having been proved, therefore the hill has fire. See Anamana. Niganta, see nirgranthas. Nigantu. Nigantu, vocabulary. Nigrahastana. So Nigantu, this is an N connected to I, that's a G. Nigan, as A's are invisible a lot of times, like we've said. Nigan, that's N, that's a T connected to U. Nigantu. Nigrahastana, N connected to I. G, Ni, N and I, Ni. G connected to Ra. Nigra, ha, that's a ha. That's a S connected to TH. Nigrahastana. Refutations, vulnerable points. A term related to debates in one of the 16 categories of the nyaya system. It means the exposure to opponent's argument as involving self-contradiction, inconsistency, etc., but which the opponent is conclusively defeated. See Padartha and chart number 6. Nisamboda. Nisamboda. Indeterminate consciousness. Nishrayasa. Nishrayasa. Released, freedom from action, karma, salvation, highest good. A vaisesika term for liberation. A vaisesika term for liberation. See moksha. Mukti, moksha. It is attained from righteousness or correct living, dharma. According to Nyaya, it is the highest good which is attained through a knowledge of the 16 categories. Nija, perception without sense organs. According to Jainism, perception without sense organs is of two types: imperfect, vikala or avidi, and mana pardhyayajnana, and perfect sakala or kevalajnana. Pratyaksa per Jainism. Nikaya collection. The collection of the Buddhist sutras are named thus: Nikshepa, the study of words to see their implications. According to Jainism, its function is to analyze and understand the exact content of words in terms of meaning and usage. It has four aspects: primary pradhana, secondary apradhana, imagined kalpita, and unimagined akalpita. It is the four types: that which refers to proper names, nama niksepa; that which refers to the meaning of an object, which reference to time, dravya niksepa; that which refers to the meaning of a word, staphana niksepa; and that which refers to the meaning of the nature of an object, bhava niksepa. It also means sarangati. See nyasa, nyasa. Nila, blue, dark blue, Nila, one among the three consorts of Lord Vishnu, a goddess. Nila is also a goddess. Nimesha. Twinkling of an eye, moment. Closing up, a unit of time. Nimesha. Nimita. Concomitant, instrumental, efficient, cause, mysterious cause, appearance, sign, substance. Nimita karana, the instrumental cause, the efficient cause. For example, the loom is the instrumental cause of the cloth. Nirgranthas, without form. Nirgranthas upayoga jnana. Nirgranthas okay, so this is an N and an I. Nirgranthas. That's a upayoga jnana. That's a J and an N. That line going up to the left like that. So upayoga jnana, apprehension. According to Jainism, is one of the two types of understanding. See upayoga. Nirda lambana, without support, independent of anything else. Nirdanjana. Nirdanjana, without blemish. Nirdapeksha, nirdapeksha, independent, free from desire. Nirdatisaya, unsurpassed. Nirdavidikaisvarya, infinite glory. Nirdavadya, faultless. Nirdavayava, partless. Nirbija, attributeless. Nirdesha. Definition: discrimination of three kinds: svabhava nirdesha, natural perceptual discrimination; prayoga nirdesha, actual discrimination as present, past, and future; and anusmrti nirdesha, reminiscent discrimination referring only to the past. The semes only possesses the first type, while the mind performs the latter two types of discrimination. Nirgrantha, those who have been freed from fetters, a name for the Jainas in early Sanskrit classical literature. The Pali classics of Buddhism called the Jainas nirgranthas. Okay, so Pali is Nepalese, Pali. Yeah, they use the same Devanagari alphabet as Sanskrit and Hindi. Nirgranthas, those who have been freed from fetters. So they're trying to say they're trying to say another term for the Jainas. Or Nirgranthas. The Pali classics of Buddhism call the Jainas Nirgranthas. Nirguna, attributeless, devoid qualities, without attribute, the formless. Nirguno pasana, and connect to I goes to this R. Nerd, that's a G, that's a U. Nirgu, that's another N, goes to the O to P. Nirguno pasana, meditation on the attributeless absolute Brahman. Nirhetuka kataksa. That's letters a K and S combined. Nerd. So you got N connected to I. That goes to the R. Nerd hey, right? Because then that line going out symbolizes the A. Nerd hey to T and U. Nerd hey to kakadaksa. Nerd hey to kakadaksa. Nerd hey to unconditioned or operative grace. Nirjara, the destruction of karma particles. According to Jainism, there are two stages in the shedding of material karma particles for an individual. Bhava Nirjara refers to modifications caused in an individual as a consequence, of which there are partial disappearance of karma particles. It's also of two types, avipaka or akamabhava nirjara, wherein the particles are automatically destroyed after enjoyment, and vipaka or sakamabhava nirjara, wherein the particles are destroyed even before enjoyment is finished. Dravya nirjara refers to the actual destruction of karma particles residing in an individual. Devas are the ever shining ones. Nirmana kaya, Sitrakaya, Nirmana Sakti, the power to project, a power belonging to illusion, Maya. Nyaya, establishing decisive knowledge, conclusion, ascertainment, confirmation. One of the 16 categories of the Nyaya system is the conclusion one arrives at as a result of deliberation. Tarka, Siddhanta, chart number 6. Negation, cessation, restriction, from the verb root, to obstruct, arrest, avert, need, down, or into. According to Buddhism, it is of two types, space and kasha, and extension, nirvana. According to Sankhya, immediately before liberation occurs, the mind chitta is in a state of cessation, nirodha. According to yoga, restriction, it is both a process and a state of restriction. It is of four types, vritti, pratyaya, samskara, and sarva nirodha, restricted, restraint. Nirodha, negation, cessation, restriction. Nirodha, restriction, restraint. Nirukta. Definition, etymology, work of sage Jessica. One of the limbs of the Vedanga. It consists of the science of etymology. Nirupadika, unconditioned. In the theistic systems, God is called Nirupadika Bandhu, an unconditioned relative. Nirupadi Pratimba. Wait a second. Bimba, huh? Nirupadi Pratibimba. Reflection where there is no medium, the reflection theory of the Dvaita Vedanta school. Then you got the Advaita Vedanta school. You got Dvaita, then you got the visistadvaita Vedanta. According to Dvaita Vedanta, this is the reflection theory. Nirupadi Pratibimba. Nirupadi Shesa. all different types of S's too, because this is a type of S or a shush. This might be a shush. This is like this is another type of S. You got the other S. That's another S right there. Sambanda, right? That's another S right there. Nirupadi Shesa, a state of perfection. Nirvana, Sanskrit for perfection. Nirvana, in which there is complete extinction of all impressions. Nirupaka, correlated. Nirupita Svarupa Dharma. Nirupita Svarupa Dharma, qualities which abide in the Lord. According to visistadvaita Vedanta, there are 6 in number. Qualities abide in the Lord. Knowledge, jnana, strength, bala, dominion, aisvarya, might, sakti, energy, virdya, and splendor, tejas. See Svarupa Nirupaka Dharma. Nirupya Nirupaka Sambandha Nirupaka Sambandha. The relationship between a determined and a determinate. Nirvachana, explanation, etymological derivation, definite predication, elucidation. To elucidate is like to clarify something. Etymological derivation means word roots. Nirvachana, an explanation or an elucidation, or an etymological derivation or a definite predication. To affirm, to assert, to state. Definite predication. Nirvana, extinction, perfection, the great peace, blowing out. Cooling, from the verb root va, to blow. Nir equals out. Nirvana. According to Buddhism, it is the goal of life. According to Theravada Buddhism, got Theravadins. According to Theravada Buddhism, it is non-conditional dharma, asamskrta dharma. According to Hinayana over here, somewhere. According to Hinayana, it is the eradication of the craving that causes rebirth. It is an overcoming of the wheel of birth and death, samsara. So that wheel of samsara, and a final exit from the world of becoming. According to the Mahayana, it is becoming conscious of one's own suchness. In this school, perfection, nirvana, equals the world of birth and death, samsara. Its 4 characteristics are bliss, permanence, freedom, and purity. In the Hinayana interpretation, perfection, nirvana, must be created, while according to the Mahayana, it is one's very essence. According to the Mahayana, it's one's essence. The Hinayana school believes or purports that it must be created. Samsara. The Mahayana divides perfection nirvana into active apratistita and static pratistita. It is a state of peace, and the Buddha said that it is unknown, unique, uncreated, and uncultured. Its 2 divisions, perfection nirvana, in which some impressions remain due to rebirth, Sopadishesa and nirvana, in which there is complete extinction of all impressions. Nirupadishesa. Yoga describes it as chitta vritti nirodha, or the cessation of all mental activities. It has been called unborn, absolute freedom, unconditional, tathata, or suchness, unchangeable, indescribable, dharmakaya, non-attachment to either being nor or non-being, nirveda, regret and repentance. There's a section, nirveda karika, in the beginning of the anika karika of vangivamsesvara, which is part of visistadvaita vedanta. Nirveda. There is a section, Nirvada Karika, in the beginning of the Anika Karika of Vangi Varhesesvara. Nirvichara, without inquiry, when the mind concentrates on the subtle essence of the elements, tanmatra, and is one with them without any notion of their qualities, it is called this. It is a state of concentration according to the yoga school, sivichara. Nirvikalpa, indeterminate, non-conceptual, the high state of samadhi beyond all thought, attribute and description, see samadhi, type of unifying concentration, samadhi, a type of perception, pratyaksa. Nirvikalpa, pratyaksa, nirvikalpa, Nirvikalpaka pratyaksa, indeterminate perception or cognition of the object for the first time. According to nyaya, vaisesika, it is perception of an object isolated and altogether uncharacterized. It is a preliminary cognition, which is only logically deduced from a fundamental postulate of the system. All complex things are explained as the putting together of simples constituting them. However, such simples cannot be directly cognized. According to mimamsakas, the knowledge one first gains in perception is quite vague and indefinite. However, unlike the nyaya vaisesika conception, this knowledge is not a theoretical supposition. It is part of the perception process itself, serves a purpose, and can even be acted upon. According to visistadvaita vedanta, perception experience is called nirvikalpaka when an object is experienced for the first time. According to it, all experience involves judgment, and it is merely a case of primary presentation or subsequent apprehension. According to Buddhists, indeterminate perception is the only kind of perception. An object, when it is perceived, is unique, and any name universal added to this perception is added by the mind. According to Advaita Vedantins, indeterminate perception is knowledge which does not apprehend any relatedness of the substantive and its qualifying attribute. Thus, it is not necessarily the first or initial perception, but any perception which is indeterminate. Nirgranthas, without transformation or change, changeless. Nirgranthas, without difference, attributeless, undifferentiated. Tarka, a concentration on objects without any notion of their names and qualities. According to the yoga school, is a stage of concentration. Nisargaja, natural. Nischaya, determination, resolve. Nischayajnana, determinate knowledge. Niseda, negative command, prohibition, according to the mimamsakas, is an injunction stating what one should not do. By avoiding such actions, an individual can purify him or herself and become eligible for the attainment of heavenly bliss. Niseda, negative command, a prohibition. Right, you shouldn't be reading these spits, right? A negative command, a prohibition. Niseda, according to Mimamsa, is an injunction stating what one should not do. By avoiding such actions, an individual can purify him herself and become eligible for attainment of heavenly bliss. What one should not do. That's our favorite, right? Niskala. Niskala, partless, undivided, complete. Niskama karma, dedicated action, disinterested action, desireless action, action dedicated to the divine without any personal desire for the fruits of one's labor. It purifies the mind and is a remote auxiliary to the path of knowledge, according to Advaita Vedanta. It is actually engaged in as dedication and worship. Some aver that it is the central teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. It is to act according to God's will, to be a successful instrument in the divine hands through complete identity with the divine. In doing action, thus one relinquishes the desire for any fruits of such action. Niskamba pravrti, unfaltering effort. Niskraya, actionless, inactive, beyond all activities. Nisvala, fruitless, without result. Nisprapancha, transphenomenal, akamic view of the absolute. Nisprapanchi karana niyogavadin. Okay, Nisprapanchi karana niyogavadin. Okay, let's see if we can. Nisprapanchi karana niyogavadin. One who believes in the theory of liberation as cosmic dissolution. Nisvabhavata, devoid of nature, devoid of existence. According to Buddhism, qualities, dharma, are devoid of nature. Niti, rules for ethical living. Nitya, permanent, eternal, unchanging. According to Nyaya, vaisesika, the size of the atoms, ether, time, space, mind, and self, Atman, is eternal. Nitya Dharma, eternal attributes of a substance. Nitya Dosha, permanent defect. According to Nyaya vaisesika, there is a distinction between permanent defect, a defect which, when rightly detected, always vitiates. The fuck is that? Vitiates. Vitiates. Vitiates, maybe. Vitiates. Vitiate.
Vitiate.
To vitiate. Spoil or impair the quality or efficiency of. Vitiate. Huh. When rightly detected, always vitiates the probans, an occasional defect. Anitya dosha, a defect which, when rightly detected, vitiates the probans only under certain circumstances. Nitya dosha, permanent defect. For nyaya vaisesika, nyaya, okay, got it there. Nyaya vaisesika. There is a distinction between permanent defect which, when rightly detected, always vitiates. Nitya guna, eternal quality. Nitya karma, obligatory Vedic duties, categorical imperative. According to the mimamsakas, got mimamsa right there. Mimamsakas, they produce no specific fruits, though if these actions are not performed, they produce demerit or sin. This theory is denied by the Advaita Vedantins. The Advaitins claim that omission of these actions does not produce sin. Nitya karmas are the regular rites which are to be performed daily. Nitya karmas, regular rites performed daily. The daily fire sacrifice, Agni Hotra. Agni is like a fire god, right? It's where we get igneous, which is a volcanic rock, right? Igneous, Agni, right? Nitya nematika karma, obligatory and occasional rites. These are of the positive commands in the Veda. Obligatory duties are to be performed daily and do not depend upon the option of an individual. Occasional rites are rituals which should be observed on certain occasions. The ceremonial bath to be taken during eclipses. The performance of these two types of rites does not lead to any merit, but according to the mimamsakas, their non-performance will result in demerit. You got these mimamsakas. Tired of mimamsakas. Mimamsakas, or are they mimamsakes? Non-performance. Mimamsakas. Okay, nitya prapta. They're not performing. Nitya prapta. Eternally realized. Nitya samsarin. Nitya samsarin. Doesn't end in an a because that line there. Nitya sam, that's an M, that little dot. Sarin. Eternally transmigrating individual. According to Dvaita Vedanta, these are individuals who are tied down to the cycle of birth and death forever. Their action, rajas, dominated and can never obtain liberation. See Svarupa Trevidya, bound to ceaseless reincarnation. Cannot get off of that wheel of samsara. They are tied down, cycle of totally under the whim of the demiurgos hierarchies. Totally under the whim of the archontic demiurgos, right? Forever. Bound to the physical realms. Will be forever endlessly reincarnated. Okay, never mind into the same timelines. Okay, over and over again. Nitya samsarin, eternally transmigrating individual, tied down to the cycle of birth and death forever. They are action dominated and can never obtain liberation. Moksha, mukti, can never obtain liberation. Trividya, Svarupa Trividya. Nitya Sarira, eternal body, according to visistadvaita Vedanta, these are the bodies of God and of eternally liberated individuals. Nitya Sari, ever free, eternal individual, according to visistadvaita and Dvaita Vedanta, these are individuals which are ever free. Wow. See Jiva. Jiva is like individual soul, or individual. Nitya Vibhuti, eternal manifestation. According to Visistadvaita Vedanta, this is the eternal, self-luminous, immaterial, infinite realm beyond primordial nature, prakriti. This is the eternal, self-luminous, immaterial, infinite realm beyond primordial nature. Nitya Vibhuti, eternal manifestation. Immaterial, saying it's not physical. Luminous realm, eternal, beyond nature, beyond prakriti, and its three qualities: guna, it is the material out of which the bodies of Isvarta, eternals and liberated beings are made. The five power saktis of Sarva, Visistadvaita Vedanta, huh? That seems pretty legit. Sometimes it sounds orthodox, like they just put some shit, they sugarcoated it, right? And it's just, watered down, right? It's not the pure traditions, it's not the pure gnosis, streamlined, right, from Isvarta, from the Eternals, and then articulated into these dialects, right, and then they develop systems. Right? What are these? Where are they getting all this gnosis from? What are their sources, right? Because you got Evadamic deities and you got draconic deities. You got Evadamic deities and you got archonic deities. And they have agendas towards humanity in terms of these religions, in terms of these spiritual systems. This sounds pretty legit though. Visistadvaita Vedanta. According to Nitya Vibhuti, eternal manifestation. According to Visistadvaita Vedanta, This is the eternal, self-luminous, immaterial, infinite realm beyond primordial nature. Nature in Sanskrit is prakriti. Prakrit. And its three qualities. Guna. It is the material out of which the bodies of Isvara, which is Sanskrit for God, Isvara, Vaikunta, Isvara, the eternals, okay, the eternals and liberated beings, right? See how these guys can never obtain liberation, right? They're bound, tied down, bound, right? Cycle, birth and death forever, that wheel of samsara, the wheel, that cycle, endlessly reincarnating, can never obtain liberation. These are liberated beings are made. It is the material, the quintessence. This is the eternal, self-luminous realm beyond forget. And there's three qualities. Guna. It is the material. Nitya vibhuti. Nitya vibhuti. Eternal manifestation. Bodies of Visvara, eternals and liberated beings are made. The five power Saktis of Sarva, Nivrti, Visva, Purusa, and Paramestin comprise its nature with the aid of Suddha Sattva, which has only purity, Sattva, characterizing it. Nitya Vibhuti is a type of super nature. It is a matter without the latter's mutability. A type of super nature. Nitya Vibhuti. Nitya Vibhuti, eternal manifestation. Nivartaka Anupapati. See, that sounded esoteric. Some of these things sound exoteric, right? This sounded unorthodox. Some of these teachings sound orthodox, right? You know, the difference between esoteric and exoteric schools. We're just doing a crash course into the East, right? But we obviously have our Western societies of old, right, and the traditions. But one classification, obviously esoteric schools versus exoteric schools, right? This is very common understanding here. Okay. Nivartaka anupapati, the untenability of that which removes, in example knowledge, one of the seven untenables of Ramanuja in his criticism of the Advaita Vedanta concept of ignorance, which is avidya. Si sapta vida anupapati, nivartaka anupapati, nivartaka jnana. Nivartaka jnana, knowledge which removes error. Nivarti. That's N connected to I, V connected to R, and then T connected to I. Nivarti. Negation, the path of turning away from activity, involution, withdrawal from the verb root vert, to turn plus ni equals back, and infolding or flowing back inwards of that which is outwardly manifested. According to the vaisesika school, it is an effort to get rid of something. Got a vaisesika, nyaya vaisesika. After vaisesika school, all by itself without nyaya, I guess. Vaisesika school. Okay. Vaisesika school is the effort to get rid of something. Nivarti. According to the Bhagavad Gita, duty, dharma, as taught in the Vedas, twofold of the form of active involvement in the world, pravarti, and the form of turning away from activity, nivarti. It is by the latter or renunciation that one will gain liberation. Nivarti anupapati. Nivarti anupapati. The untenability against release, one of the seven untenables of Ramanuja in his criticism of the Advaita Vedanta concept of ignorance of vidya. See Sapta Vida Anupapati. Niyama, observance, discipline, daily observances. Recommended for the practice of yoga, i.e., cleanliness, contentment, and mental and physical discipline. Siyama, the second limb of Patanjali's kingly yoga, Raja Yoga, which comprises 5 positive virtues. These are purity, satya, contentment, santosha, austerity, tapas, study, svadhyaya, and devotion to God. Isvara pranidhana, Sanskrit for devotion. Isvara God, Isvara pranidhana, Siastanga Yoga, the process of going on. Niyama, observance, discipline. Niyama Vidi, restrictive injunction. This is an injunction where, when a thing could have been done in a number of ways, an order is given by the Veda restricting one to follow some definite alternative. For instance, though the chaff from the corn could be separated even by the nails, the order that corn should be threshed restricts one to threshing as the only accepted action. See Vidi. Nayamena Adeyatva. Nyaya adhyatva. The body is defined as that which the individual soul controls. This is an example given to illustrate the concept of inseparable relation. Apartak siddhi according to visistadvaita vedanta. Niyamena prakara, invariable mode, restrictive adjunct. Niyamena sisadva. Niyamena sisadva. The body is defined as that which the individual soul utilizes for its own ends. This is an example given to illustrate the concept of inseparable relation. Apartak siddhi according to visistadvaita vedanta. Niyamena vidyatva. Niyamena Vidayatva, Vidayatva. The body is defined as that which the individual soul supports. This is an example given to illustrate the concept of inseparable relation. Apartak siddhi according to visistadvaita vedanta. Visistadvaita vedanta. That's a good system right there. Nyaya, controlled. Nyanta, the controller. Nyanta, the controller. Nyantar, ruler, controller. Nyata, invariable, immutable, unchangeable. Nyata, purva, vritti, invariable, antecedent. Nyata, vipaka, fruition of action restricting one life. Nayati, restriction as regards to space, a cause of limited understanding. From ni equals down, the verb yam, to restrain, equals to restrain. One of the 5 constrictors, kantuka. It is the power that limits the universal condition of all pervasiveness or omnipresence. Therefore, it is the cause of limitation with regard to space and cause. It connects specific causes to specific effects. See Pancha Kanchuka, according to Kashmir saivism. This is one of the impure categories, tattva, which envelope the individual and make for its finitude. According to Jainism, necessity. There are 5 conditions which create diversity: time, nature, necessity, activity, and desire to be and act. Nayoga, to fast and tie, apply, command, order. Nayoga karya. What is to be accomplished as per an injunction. According to mimamsakas, the Veda has injunction, yoga, as its sole purport. Advaita Vedanta denies and attempts to refute this claim. Nadana, push, upward, or side motion. Nrsimha, man, lion, an incarnation of Vishnu. See Avatara. Nrtya, dance. Nyasa, renunciation, laying down, placing, imprinting, casting, purifying. A ritual process in which parts of the human body and deities and mystic diagrams are identified in order to form a series of microcosmic and macrocosmic relationships. Nyasa includes jiva nyasa, infusing the life of the deity into one's body. Matrika nyasa, placing the 50 letters of the Sanskrit alphabet into one's body. Rishi Nyasa, saluting various deities associated with various parts of the body, and Sadanga Nyasa, establish power in the six limbs, all of which distributes power in the body, creating a new inner and outer reality for oneself. Nyaya, logic, axiom, logical reasoning. Rule, method, syllogism, an orthodox Astrika school of Indian philosophy. Its founder was Gautama. Its Vartikakara was Udyatakara, and its Bhasyakara was Vatsyayana. It is primarily a school of logic and epistemology. It has been defined as a critique of the categories through means of valid knowledge. It was also referred to by names anviksiki and tarka. The Nyaya school holds a philosophy of logical realism. The distinctive contribution of this school is its fashioning of the tools of inquiry and its formulation of the technique of argumentation. Nyaya, logic, axiom, logical reasoning, rule, method, syllogism. Orthodox Astika. Sanskrit for orthodox is Astika. School of Indian philosophy. Its founder was Gautama. Its Vartikakara was Odyatakara, and its Vasyakara was Vatsyayana. It is primarily a school of logic and epistemology. It has been defined as a critique of the categories through means of valid knowledge. Critique of the categories through means of valid knowledge. It is also referred to by the names anviksiki and tarka. Anviksiki and tarka. We have nyaya vaisesika. So then we have nyaya all by itself. Indians also astika is a astika. It's also known as anviksiki or tarka. Anviksiki and tarka. The United School holds a philosophy of logical realism. The distinctive contribution of this school is its fashioning of the tools of inquiry and its formulation of the technique of argumentation. Nyaya Prasthana, the foundation of logical reasoning, a name for the Brahma Sutra. It is so called because it sets forth the teachings of Vedanta in a logical order. Nyaya Vayava, Nyaya Vayava, Nyaya Vayava, component of a syllogism. So that's N, and let's do O. Nah, we'll do O, and well, we'll do another video about O, just because every letter gets their own video. So once again, these aren't persons, these aren't individuals like the Dalai Lama or fucking, Siddhartha Gautama. These aren't humans, these aren't persons, but it's their groups, it's their schools, it's their sects, it's their ideologies, maybe. Ideologies or philosophies. That would work. And each and every single one of these branch off to enormous studies, right? So those are key terms right there. Never mind theosophy, right? So it's a pretty good start in the East, and we're trying to just do kind of India, South Asia, but we're gonna get some gleanments, especially if we do it like this, a little bit of more East, maybe even more Asian, ancient China, maybe a little bit. You're gonna get some of that, and you get that in theosophy as well, right? Obviously, and then if you go into there, you got animism, you got Cheondog, you got Taoism, right? So then more Asian, but we're kind of trying to stay Indian here as much as we can for now, right? What else we got over there? Got a lot of shit over there in Asia. but we're trying to stay South Asian for now, right? So that's N.